So let me go ahead and do this and then share. Okay. I was answering student questions. So if you sent me a question, check your email. Let me see. We are in AC07. Okay. 7.3 area. 7.4. Oh, man. Come on. Here we go. My keyboard wasn't turned on. All right, so real quick, let's just review a little bit of yesterday. On Monday, we spoke about perimeter. So it doesn't matter what the object looks like. We'll do something like that. Perimeter would be the outside distance if you were to walk all the way around this object. You would just count how many steps. That's what perimeter is. Sometimes perimeter can be a little bit more challenging. For example, in this picture here, I'll try to draw it a little bit better. There we go. I could give you this side right here, which is 3 meters. I can give you this side, which is 1 meter, 1 meter. And I could give you, make that 2 meters. I can give you that side right there, which is 2 meters. I give you nothing else. Sometimes you got to do a little bit of investigating. And you got to kind of compare lengths and everything and say, well, if the right-hand side is 3 meters, then the left-hand side also has to be 3 meters. If this part right here in red is 2, then this has to be 2. Since this is 1, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, so this has to be 5 meters up here. And that's going to be 1 meter there, and then you just add everything up. And then we looked at another type of perimeter, and it dealt with a very specific shape. And it was a circle. And the perimeter for a circle has a special name. It's called the circumference. Okay? And we had 2 formulas, which are both the same formula. You can use either or. All right? But you tend to use the one that actually works for you. So remember, the distance from the center of a circle all the way to the edge would be the radius. And if I extended that radius all the way over to the side in red, that's called the diameter. Okay? So, like I said, it doesn't matter which one you use. Okay? You can use either or. And pi is a very special number. And it equals 3.142 down to 3 decimal points. Now, one thing I noticed, because I had a couple questions on the homework that I got, was in the problem it says use the pi key and then round to the nearest hundredth, or round to the nearest hundredth. So all I want you to use is 3.14. When they say use the pi key, they're saying get a calculator out and use the pi key. If you want to do that, that's fine with me also. But if you don't have a calculator or you don't have one that has a pi key, just use 3.142 and you'll be fine. All right. Today, we're going to talk about area. So perimeter is that outside distance. Area would be, what's a good way to say this? It measures the surface of a shape. All right? So, for example, if we have a rectangle or a square, I guess this will be a square. Like I said, we know perimeter would be the outside, area would be the inside. So, I'm going to go ahead and shade this. And the shading represents the area of this square. In fact, if you want to think about it, it's like if you had a paintbrush and you wanted to paint the shape, you would tell me how much area you've actually painted. Now, area for a rectangle is pretty simple. It's going to be length times width, where L could be on the bottom, W is on the side. It really doesn't matter. But what does matter are the units. You are always going to use square units. And they can be written out in the words square units, or you may see something like units raised to the second power. They both mean the same thing. Okay? Are there any questions about that so far? All right. So I'm going to give you some formulas. First one. It's already on the board, but we'll write it again. Area of a rectangle. So A equals L times W. Usually we make L the longer side. So length starts with L, longer starts with L. Okay? Now, if I asked you what the area of a triangle is, what would you say? I mean, to be honest with you, all the information you need is on the board already. I know. I'm asking for a completely different shape. But if I asked you, what is the formula for area? All the information you need to actually come up with your own formula. See, your whole life, people have been giving you formulas. I'm giving you the opportunity right now to create your own. All you need is on the board. Any idea? I mean, just take a guess. It's okay.
Just put the length times the width of the triangle.
Okay, but keep going. I'm listening.
Well, so the bottom of the triangle, and then the length going to reaching the top of the apex, I guess.
Okay. So, CJ, let me ask you this question. I have a rectangle drawn. How do I make a right triangle? Or how do I just make a triangle out of the rectangle?
You would just take off one of the four sides. Yeah.
So, just like that, I would just take off a side?
You'd have to close in the last two.
Oh. What if I just did this? What did I just do with my rectangle?
Cut it in half.
So if we know the area of a rectangle is length times width, then I guess the area of a triangle is just length times width divided by 2. And there's the area of a triangle. Now, traditionally, we write it like this. We use different letters because it's a different formula. That's it. But it's still the same. Area equals 1/2 A times B, where A is going to be the short side of the triangle, and then B is going to be the next shortest. All right? Or another way you want to look at it, those are called legs, and the longest side, it's called the hypotenuse. Probably can't see the spelling. All right. So if you don't have a right triangle, the area of a triangle is still the same. And what I mean by a right triangle is, let's say you have something like this. See, this is a right triangle above because it has a right angle. The one I drew below is just a regular triangle, but calculate the area, it's still the same exact thing. What you would do is you would draw a line from the highest point down to the bottom, and then you would just label it A, and then the longest, or that base is going to be B. But it's still 1/2 A times B. Are there any questions there? All right, I'll give you 2 more formulas, and then we're just going to use them to calculate some areas. And then we'll take our quiz. So, next one would be a trapezoid. So a trapezoid looks like this. All right, where you have base 1 and base 2. Base 1 is going to be the longer side. Base 2 is the shorter side. And that line represents the height of the trapezoid. So the area is going to equal the quantity of base 1 times base 2, or base 1 plus base 2 times the height, all divided by 2. Oh, I guess I don't have to put a box around it. All right, so its area equals base 1 plus base 2. You add them first, multiply it times the height, and then divide it by 2. All right? Any questions there? And then the last one. Area of a circle is pi r squared. And you can use 3.142 for pi. So there are only 4 formulas. If I were you, I would write them on like a separate sheet of paper. And that way you have them. I will not make you memorize them. That's fine with me. You don't have to. Don't worry about it. Okay? But definitely have them available. So let's just look at some examples. Like I said, these will be relatively straightforward. Yeah, we'll make the math easy. I'm feeling good today. All right, so there you go. We should be able to do this one in our head. So what's the area equal? What do you think? Area equals...
44 inches.
I disagree.
44 inches squared.
There you go. 44 inches squared, or 44 square inches. CJ, your math was correct. It was just the units. That was the only thing. Okay? Yep, so just be careful, that's all. Next one. How about that triangle where the legs are 11 millimeters and 23 millimeters respectively? What would be the area? Anybody get an answer yet? All right, well, let's look at it. So we got a right triangle. We know the formula is 1/2 A times B. So I'm going to let A equal 11, B equal 23. So A is going to equal 1/2 times 23 times 11. Now, since we're multiplying, order doesn't matter. So I'm going to do 23 times 11 first. 23 times 11 is 253. All I have to do is just divide that number by 2. So I'll come off to the right here. Come on. There we go. 253. So 2 goes into 2 once. Drop down to 5. 2 goes into 5 twice. Drop down to 3. 2 goes into 13. 6 times. Drop down to, or that's going to be a 1. Put a decimal, put a 0. Drop it down. 2 goes into 10. 5 times. So area equals 126.5 square millimeters. Are there any questions? All right, let's try another one. Try that for me, please.
What are the units?
Oh, you need units. What do you want them to be, Alex?
I don't really care.
All right, feet. Anybody get an answer yet?
185?
That's not what maybe I did my math wrong in my head. Let's do it together. First, trapezoid. Base 1 plus base 2 times the height, all divided by 2. So area equals 12 plus 25 times 10, and all that's going to be divided by 2. So 12 plus 25. 37 times 10 divided by 2. So that's going to be 370 divided by 2. And Matt, I think you're right. With 185 square feet. How are we looking, everyone? Straightforward? All right, so I think the 3 problems I gave you were pretty easy. Here's the next one. Find the area of the shaded region. Use pi equals 3.42. So find the area of the shaded region. All right. Anybody got an answer yet?
I got 176 and 7,375 centimeters squared.
I don't know if I buy that one, Alex. Let's think about it, okay? You may be right. I don't know. I didn't do it in my head yet, but that sounds a little off. So let's think about this. I just want the area of the shaded region. Now, I know the area of a circle is pi. Okay. I know area of a circle is pi r squared. However, I don't want the area of the entire circle. I want the area of the circle on the outside of that square in the middle. Now, since that's a square, here's what I know. I know my area total, so I just abbreviate it with like a little t, is going to be the circle minus the square. Okay? So my area total is going to be the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. So I'll write that underneath it. And that's going to be 3.142 times 15 to the second power minus the area of the inside, because I need to take that area away. So that's going to give me 6 to the second power. Now, the 6 to the second power, that's easy. That's 36. But the 3.142 times 5 to the second power, you got to do 5 to the second power first. Did I say 5? I meant 15. So you're going to do 5 to this. I said it again. You need 15 to the second power first. So that's going to be. I'm sorry?
I did a question. So when you said
Oh, no. Can I answer a question without you asking it?
yeah, go ahead.
It's not 15. It should be 7.5, correct?
Yeah, that's what I was about to
Yep, that's what I thought. And as soon as I thought about it, or as soon as I looked and I saw my 15 centimeters, I went, oh, okay, I'm wrong. So we need to do 7.5 squared. It's the radius. I wrote the diameter by accident. So 7.5 squared is going to be 56.25. So I need to take 3.142 times 56.25. I am not going to multiply that out by hand. I mean, we already covered decimals. So I'm just going to get this out real quick. 3.142 times 56.25. All right, so that gives me AT equals 176.7375 minus 36. And then lastly, I'm just going to stack them on top of each other. Off to the left here, 176.7375 minus 36 with a bunch of zeros to give me 0.7375. And the whole number is 140. And this is going to be square centimeters. So back to you, Alex. Is that what you said?
Yeah, for the whole entire area, but yeah, I got the same answer after subtracting 30.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, because you said 176. Okay. Good enough. Good enough. Are there any questions? Yes or no? All right. Let's do one more like this, and we'll call it a day. All right, there you go. Oh, let me shade in the region that I want. So find the area. Of the shaded region. So similar to the problem we just did. Yes.
Are we allowed to use the equations that you gave us for the area of the circle and the rectangle and the triangle for the quiz?
Say that one more time, Alyssa.
Are we allowed to use the equations you gave us for a rectangle, triangle, and circle for the quiz?
Oh, absolutely. But today's quiz is not going to include them.
Oh, good.
Today's quiz is only on chapter 8. The last section, which deals with solving equations. That was it.
Okay, I should do okay then, because I just studied for it. I didn't know you had a quiz.
Perfect. And while I'm thinking about it, B and Jessica, you sent me questions, and I sent you an email back today.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
That quiz is like, is it on a web assign?
Yes. In fact, if you went on there right now, you'd be able to see it. It just unlocked at 1:30.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep. So let's go ahead. Let's do this problem. So the one thing is, I have a shaded region with 3 circles that I don't want. So I know the area of the total object is going to be nothing more than the area of the rectangle minus, and I'm going to leave a little space here, the area of the circle. And the reason why I left a little space is because I'm going to put a big fat 3 in front. And that's because there are 3 circles. Does that make sense, everybody? So my area is going to equal the area of the rectangle. Well, that's pretty simple. That's just going to be length times width, or 14 times 36. Minus the area of my circles. And remember, there are 3 of them. So it's going to be 3 times 3.142 times 2.5 to the second power. Because the diameter of the circle is 5 inches. However, the radius is only 2.5. So I don't want to make the mistake that I made in the previous problem. All right. Now from here, I really wouldn't, this is just me. I would just go ahead and just grab a calculator and just kind of type this stuff in. So 14 times 36 is going to be 504. Minus, and then if you type it in exactly how it looks, you should be fine. 3 parenthesis 3.142 times 2.5 to the second power. And that's going to be 58.9125. And what I'll do is I'll just subtract the 2 numbers. 504 minus 58.9125. So my total area is 445.0875 square inches. Any questions? I like area problems a lot more than perimeter problems. I don't like perimeter problems. I find them boring, but that's just me. So, do you have any further questions?